Okay, let's now discuss the movie project rubric. So if you choose this project, here's what you need to expect. First off, let's talk really quickly here about the points. 3 points, mastery, 2 points, proficient, 0 points, unsatisfactory. If you have anything that ends up in this column, that is a redo. So make sure we don't leave anything over there, because if you have a 0, that means you blatantly didn't do something you were supposed to do in the project, and you're going to have to redo it, because if you're not going to do it right the first time, you're going to figure it out soon enough and get it right the second, third, or fourth time. Okay, now on to the actual criteria here. First, let's talk about organization. Whenever you do any type of a movie, now this type of movie could be a lot of different things. You could make your movie something really creative, like a music video, or I don't even know what. I'm sure you can think of creative things. Or you can make it something like a documentary, something that's, I don't want to say less creative in a bad way, but not really something super unique, but it can still be really, really good and really creative. And I've had plenty of really, really good documentary type of projects in which you have pictures and videos, and then you do voiceovers with it. So that's definitely an option here. Whenever you do whatever type of movie project you have, though, you need to make sure that you're well organized. Okay, this means you have to have all needed sections, which would be introduction, conclusion, and solid body. So make sure you have all of those different pieces there. If you don't, and you leave out just a real little bit, you'll still get a proficient grade. But if you leave out a lot of different sections, if you have no introduction and no conclusion, you're going to have an unsatisfactory, and you will be required to redo it. Next up is visual quality. For the visual quality, you want to make sure that your visuals are high quality and they're going to enhance what is on the screen. So what all are we really saying here? Well, first off, we want to have a variety. You need to have lots of different visuals going, because it gets boring. Like this video right here is going to get boring because I don't have other visuals. I'm just showing all the same rubric. Your visuals also need to enhance the topics you're discussing. So you don't want to have a lot of words on your screen that you're just going to repeat. You want it to enhance it. So if you're speaking about something, have a picture that goes along with it really well and really clearly. That's a really good practice to use. And finally, you want to make sure that they are high quality images. You don't want to have images that are pixelated. You don't want to have images that are random and that don't really fit into what you're talking about. You want to make sure that it all really connects back to what you're doing and they're the highest quality possible. Okay, so that's our visual quality. Again, there will be some flexibility here. If you make a few mistakes, some of your visuals aren't great, or maybe you could use a little bit more variety, you'll still receive a 2 out of 3, but not a 3 out of 3. Next, audio quality. Whenever you're doing a movie, you need to have audio to it. It could be music, it could be speaking, it can be a lot of different things. And to be honest with you, I think it's probably best if you have some combination of both. So what are some things to be looking here? Well, number one, having both is important. We want to make sure that it's exciting. You don't want it to be too boring, again, like this one is right here. Second, you want to make sure that it's always relevant. You don't want random things in there. The one thing that I noticed that gets really random is music, and that's something you really don't want to have, is random music that doesn't fit in at all just because it's a song that you like. And that kind of fits in here with the next one, which audio quality is clear and uses appropriate language. You want to make sure that you are formal when you're speaking to an extent, but in reality, you can use different language if you would like. If you're using humor and you want to have language that is less formal, which would be the appropriate portion there, then that's fine and there's nothing wrong with that. The one thing I do want to caution you on, though, is using music with lyrics and then speaking over top of it. So let's say you have the newest song out and the words are singing in the background and then you're talking, trying to give your voiceovers. It gets really choppy and confusing, so you don't want to have voice on top of voice. Hopefully that makes sense. That is our grading here on audio quality. Next, on editing. Whenever you do a video, you're going to have extra pieces you don't need, and sometimes you're going to say things wrong, and you know what, that's completely natural, but you do need to edit it back together. So what I want to make sure is that you have all your audio and video pieces cut smoothly without a lot of choppiness, and you want to make sure that you cut out all the stuff you don't need. So all the things that aren't focused on your video goals, get rid of them. If it's you goofing around for no good reason, not really needed. Blooper reel, not really needed. So those are just things to think about here under the editing portion. Because the reality is, while you might want to have a blooper reel, you're going to have enough fun making a video. You don't really need those types of things. And finally, references. Make sure the references are cited appropriately. In a movie, you can cite it as you go. So throughout, you could maybe just have something pop up at the bottom of the screen that says information from this location. Now, early on, I'll be a little bit more flexible and won't be too concerned about having the citations being formal. Later on, they will need to be formal. For right now, I just want you to focus on turning this in with the references in any format. Okay, so that is our movie project rubric. I hope that was clear and makes sense for you.